Yeah, it wouldn't be a CCO-style wedding if somebody didn't chip their tooth.
Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 65. I'm Brando, I'm here with Ryan, and today we're going to kick off our arc of the Planeswalker with the Kenrith twins. Now hit our theme song! Hey Ryan, we're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What's going down? We're back.
Oh, we are back. Whole lot's going down. We got auctions to talk about. We got giveaways to talk about. We got big news in CCO Nation to talk about. We got a buddy who just got married. We're both hungover as hell.
Oh,
and we're going to do it.
I know. I was thinking before you started the show, I was thinking, shows suck so bad for you to edit when I'm hungover.
Yeah, it's true, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably going to be like 3 hours of audio file, and most of it's going to be me like backing away from the microphone saying, damn it. And then you cutting it all out, so it's like 55 minutes long.
Yeah, that's how most of the shows go, actually.
Yeah, very good.
It's a thing. So where should we start?
Kicking off the new arc today.
Yep.
Arc of Planeswalker.
Yeah, this is, it just occurred to me that we're doing this around the time that the Jace's spellbook came out. It's like,
from the Vault Jace.
Yeah, don't like that, but whatever. Everybody else jumps on the bandwagon. We can do it like once.
I suppose.
Yeah. So this arc is going to be, we're going to pick Planeswalkers. You guys have any suggestions? Get at us at Twitter. We'll tell you how to do that in just a second. And we're going to build decks based on the personality of the Planeswalkers, not necessarily what would be really good in their colors, but like, you'll see here in a minute what we're talking about with these Kenrith jokers, because they have nothing going for them, Ryan.
You know, it's funny. We're going to talk about Grand Prix Las Vegas a little bit. We're going a little bit lighter on the deck tech today. We're going to do some Vegas Lamentations, as it were. And I actually played against a dude who had Will Kenrith in his deck.
Ooh.
Mono blue deck. No Rowen.
Huh.
And I was like, And it turns out like he was good.
They're both pretty good.
So we'll give them a read once we get into the list. But yeah, people are playing them.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
They're not that terrible. And boy, were they good in Battle Bond Draft. Yeah, pick them up. They come in a pack together. First pick them.
Yeah, and how could, maybe if you're not able to pick them because you're not at a draft, how else could they get them, Ryan?
You could win them from CCO Podcast.
Yes, you could.
Let's talk about that right after social media coordinates.
Social media coordinates. We are CCO Podcast on Twitter and tappedout.net. That's where you can see this list, last week's list, next week's list, and any other list that we talk about over the course of the show. We're commandercookout@gmail.com. That's where you can send us love, mail, hate mail, show suggestions, deck lists, planeswalkers you want to see in this arc, but no nudes.
We actually got nudes.
Yes, we did.
Real nudes, not some dude eating noodles out of his beard that was shaped like a bowl.
Yeah, we got that too.
Moving on.
Yes, moving along. We're also Commander Cookout on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Google Store. Yeah, Google Store. Patreon, Podomatic, where we're taking down the ninnies, edhrec.com, and the unofficial official home of Commander Cookout Podcast, flipsidegaming.com.
.com. Say it right. Flipsidegaming.com, where you can shop online. Use promo code CCOFU, 10% off your whole order. And I actually watched it. Short documentary, 9 or 10 minutes long. I think it's going to be part of like a reoccurring thing with Richard Kane Ferguson, Magic artist of, I think he started like in Legends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did like Solkanar, the Swamp King, and Dakin Blackblade, and Nebuchadnezzar. Like, he did some of those old Legends, all the way up to, I think just even a couple years ago, he was painting Magic cards still. He did the original Dissipate.
Ooh.
And also Desertion.
Well, those are good arts, too. There's a
I
cool
like
style there, and they're all hand-painted and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, Flipside Gaming's got a documentary on him. Go there or be square.
Yes. And
that's not how it goes. Be there or be square. I guess you can't be in a website. Go there or be square.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
There it is.
Shout-outs. I know I said that we were going to talk about the Kenrith twins right after social media coordinates, but we're going to do shout-outs. And we actually have a special shout-out, a bunch of special shout-outs based on the happenings in Grand Prix Las Vegas. And I think first one's got to be to all of the other content creators in Atraxable.
Yeah.
Super successful.
It was awesome to meet everybody.
Super fun. I had a great time.
I also had a great time.
I think that everybody did. I was on Twitter and everybody was talking about it, and Nate Burgess from Commander Time posted a bunch of pictures, and there were some write-ups, and one of the guys from Legendary Creature Podcast, whoever does their Twitter, was like, our game was like a season of Game of Thrones. Not an episode. No, a whole season. There was betrayal, backstabbing, random outsiders, titties. Yeah, so it had a whole bunch to offer, and it was super fun. Backstabbing in our game.
Oh.
Special shout out to Sean Tabaris from Commander's Brew Podcast, because I sold him out so hard.
Down the river with up shit creek without a popsicle stick, as I like to say.
Oh yeah, the other table even called me a piece of shit from like across the room.
Oh yeah.
Because I became... F.U. Joel called me like the dirtiest Magic player in North America.
I was so proud of you.
So awesome. So we're going to talk about that in a second. Next shout out, Wedge from the Mana Source.
Yes.
We have I'm going to call it a charity auction for him, even though I don't like the term charity auction. Yeah. That's what it is. Everybody knows what I'm talking about now. We have got our oversized onto a normal-sized Atraxa foil peel that we used in Atraxa Bowl.
Yeah, battle seasoned also.
Yes, battle seasoned. We got all of the content creators involved in Atraxa Bowl that were present to sign it. We got Cassius Marsh from the San Francisco 49ers to sign it, and we are auctioning that away on our Facebook page. We also have a custom hand-drawn Atraxa token. Not safe for work.
Definitely not safe for work.
It was drawn by @PsychoSebi on Twitter. Search her up. She does sweet stuff. I follow her on Twitter now. And she showed up randomly. She was the random outsider in the other pod. Her and
her boyfriend.
Was it her boyfriend?
Yeah. They tracked me down after one of the games that we played on the Friday at GP Vegas. It was like, hey, you're Brando from Commander Cookout Podcast. Yes, I am. What do we know about all this? Tell me about Atraxa Bowl. Tell me what's going on. So I told him all about it, and he just showed up at the time with the deck and wanted in. So we dealt him in.
It was actually perfect because we had enough for 2 pods, and I thought that Ryan Green and Phil DeLuca, that were playing in the other Atraxa pod, were building separate and playing separate decks, but they were playing one deck. So we had a pod of 3, them, and a pod of 4, us. And PsychoSebi and her boyfriend showed up. Do you remember his name?
I don't.
Sorry.
I feel really bad. I'm sorry, man.
They showed up and said, hey, well, can we play? Sure, we need a 4th so we can have 2 pods of 4. And then they threw down, and she drew us a super sweet Atraxa token because there were a couple Helm of the Hosts in play that were putting Atraxas into play.
They
so
were
we needed
them
more.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. There was 2 at my table, and then there was another 1 or 2 at your table?
Yeah. Well, I was at the same table as you, Ryan, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yes, you were, but you were back and forth because you were taking care of all of the CCO trash talking that needed to be done.
Yeah, I was talking shit all over the place.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So, both of those are up on our Facebook page. The auction will be ending on Tuesday, July 10th, and 100% of the proceeds are going straight to Wedge from the Mana Source GoFundMe.
Yeah, he's got some health issues. Not really our place to talk about them, but he's having a hard time. So we, as members of the Magic community at large, want to support our own, and so this is just something that we can do to do that.
For sure. And you can either pay us directly, you can via PayPal. We're going to get a Commander Cookout PayPal set up. You can pay us directly, and we can do the donation for you. Or if you are the winning bidder, you can go directly to Wedge's GoFundMe and make a donation in your own name. So then it's definitely from you. And then we'll just send you the stuff. They're 2 different lots. And just as of last night, we have a 3rd lot going up for auction.
Oh.
So I contacted the generous admin from the biggest Magic the Gathering altered art group on Facebook. And Wedge is affiliated with them because once a month on his YouTube channel, he does an altered art spotlight, and he takes the best art on cards from the previous month or 2 months or whatever and showcases it on his channel. Hundreds of thousands of people see it and watch it, and it's grown the group from whatever thousand to 22,000 people big. So when I told them we're doing this charity auction for them, they're like, literally the response was, how the fuck do we make this happen right now? And I was floored because all of the other groups I talked to were like, no, I don't know, especially if it's not safe for work, blah, blah, blah. So I posted the pictures up there, and people from that page came and bid on those cards already.
Awesome.
And Jay Sage, Skooma Altars on Facebook, and Skooma_altars on Instagram. Search him up. Links will be in the show notes. Actually agreed to just donate a card. He contacted me and said, how do I be a part of this? And he does literally the sickest altars in the world.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
They're mostly like blacks and whites with gold or gold leaf mixed in, and so awesome. I'm so happy that he wanted to jump on board because his altars are so cool. We gave him freedom, and he is doing whatever card and whatever style he's going to do. As soon as we have it, it'll be posted up for auction on our Facebook page. Head there, bid, donate to Wedge.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him out. We're gonna bring him back. Get well soon, Wedge.
You know what's cool? He actually got married.
Oh, congratulations, Wedge.
Yeah, it's so sweet, hey?
Yeah. That's why he was in Vegas, yeah?
I suppose. That's why people go to Vegas.
They go to get drunk and get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Should we do a last special shout out? Speaking of getting married, our boy Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Got married yesterday.
Friend of the show.
That's why we're all messed up. We were at the wedding. We drank all the rum. I drank all the rum.
Yeah, you and friend of the show, Clayton.
Yeah, drank all of it.
I had beer.
Not all of it, though.
No. Enough to have a headache.
Oh, man.
Super fun. It was so goddamn hot in that hall, hey?
Yes, it was.
It was hot here. Not as hot as Vegas.
Not as hot as Vegas, but it felt hotter, honestly.
Humid. It's so humid right now.
Yeah, walking out of any building in Vegas, like the weather just kicks in the stomach, but then you got it, and that's just how it is. It's hot now. Mm-hmm. Whereas here, it's hot, then it's windy, then it's raining, then it's hot again.
All in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. That just happened on the way to the station here today to record the show.
Canada actually gets hot in the summer, people.
Yeah. Very hot.
For our listeners from the land of the free, we usually, like in July and August, we'll hit like 100 degrees. That's in Canada units, that's like high 30s.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan gets hot. That's why we grow so much crops.
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of Vegas, we touched on Atraxable, and I do have to call out, even though I gave him a shout out, I'm going to call out Sean DeBears because he said that I was dirtling. This is the thing. So I got a Reap, instant speed regrowth for how many black permanents your opponents control. Awesome. Super techy, and attracts it because everybody has black permanents. There was some sick tech, like Nate Burgess was playing a Circle of Protection white.
Nate Burgess's deck was insane.
He had a spreading algae to destroy swamps, and then he made everything a swamp so he could just destroy lands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy's a dirtbag, but
so
I love
good.
that deck.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Yeah, it was super sweet. I seen a Circle of Protection white. We seen a Gideon's Intervention, the thing that made it so you can't cast Atraxa. The named card can't be played. Declaration of Naught. Enchantment. Name a spell. Name spell can't be played.
No,
counter the name spell.
For a blue.
Yeah. Right? So I'm playing Reap for the same reason. Just sick Atraxa tech because I knew that there'd be black permanents in play. In my opening hand, opened with a Diabolic Tutor and also a Final Parting. So both of them are tutors. The Final Parting tutors to hand and to graveyard. So you get 2 cards. I tutor with the Final Parting for whatever into my hand and a regrowth. So every turn I can regrowth my Reap and then Reap my regrowth and my 2 tutors because there's 3 black permanents in play. Oh. So every single turn I got 3 tutors and a card draw. Nate Burgess stole Athada Adel from Patrick Sapola, and he's hitting people with it. And he hit Sean, stole a Soul Ring. He hit me, stole a Soul Ring. And I made a deal with Sean saying, hey, can you proliferate up my Coalition Relic because I need the extra mana to bounce your Soul Rings, or to bounce all of the Soul Rings back to our hands. Oh, sure, okay. And he's got 3 Atraxas because he had Atraxa with Helm of the Host.
You skipped over the part of the story where you were making a deal with him, and I offered to not strangle him in order to get him to do that.
That's right. And he said, no, you can't make a deal with a not. You have to make a deal with a I do, not a I won't.
Right.
Which is good.
That's fine, yeah.
Then he gets something.
Yeah.
Instead of not getting beaten up, he was going to get his soul ring.
And look what happened to him. He should have taken that first deal.
So here's the thing. At the end of his turn, I put a counter on my Coalition Relic. He proliferates it up to 4.
Because he had 3 Atraxes.
Correct. Wow. My initial plan was to, with my 3 tutors per turn, search for a win condition and also search for Cyclonic Rift. I rift with the extra mana he gave me. We all get our soul rings back. Cool. It goes to Nate's turn, and he's got Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth in play, and he goes Cormus Bell, makes all swamps 1/1s. Then he goes whatever card that makes all your opponent's creatures get -1/-1, effectively killing all lands, except for his.
What a
Hey?
scumbag, yeah.
Sean goes, oh, what do I do? What do I do? So he ends up anguished unmaking the Cormus Bell, so the lands aren't creatures any longer. Still almost a one-sided board wrath. I think everything died except for Atraxa.
Yeah, lots of stuff ate shit.
Yeah, so Sean's tapped out now, so he can't do anything. And what do I draw? Biovisionary.
Uh-oh.
So instead of tutoring for Cyclonic Rift and overloading it, with my extra mana that Sean gave me, I tutored Rite of Replication. So Biovisionary is like a 2/3 that if you control 4 of them at the end of turn, win the game. For green, blue, 1. It's a 1/1 maybe. Whatever it is, I don't care. Rite of Replication, blue, blue, 1, copy target creature.
Now we have 6.
Kicker of 5, you copy it 5 times. Right? So I go Biovisionary, and Sean goes, uh-oh. And then I'm counting. 9. Rite of Replication. Responses? Everybody goes, wait, what? Biovisionary's at upkeep, right? I read it again. Nope. End of turn. Does it resolve? And Sean just slumped in his chair and was like, you sold me out. How could you do this? We're both Canadians. It was excellent.
I was so proud because I am typically the villainous, underhanded, cheaty one. And you are the fine, upstanding gentleman who just happens to be really good at Magic and know what all the cards do.
Welcome to Opposite Town, Sean. Also, F you. Yeah. He F'd me. So I ducked out of the game after winning, and I said, okay, Sean, in the next game, because you're clearly going to win the game now. He had 3 Atraxes and what's the one that tutors for equipment?
Stonehero Giant.
Stonehero Giant. He was crushing everybody. He did end up winning. And I said, in the next game, if a soul ring needs to be bounced, I got it. Right? And then he had to leave. He went to the airport.
We got him so good. Got him so good he wish he never got so good.
Yeah, it was super fun. And you know what? The other game ended up drawing a little bit of a crowd and we were watching. And then we didn't even go to the final. And we just were like, okay, we're peacing out. Everybody's going to drink beer.
Yep.
So, Sean, sorry, not sorry. And there was no final. So I'm just going to call it a win for me.
Yeah, CCO Podcast comes out on top of Atraxable.
Everybody else is the worst place.
Yeah.
And we're going to send you ribbons.
Yeah, I have them made. That's legit shit.
So awesome.
So Atraxable was a great time. It was really cool to meet everybody and get to play a game of Magic and for people to come by and check in and see what was going on.
And you know what else too is the other content creators that were involved, Commander Time, Commander's Brew, Commander and MTG, Commander this, Commander that, everybody who is involved is going to be doing their own little pieces. So by the time this is up, CMDR Centrals will be up because it launches on Monday and we're Tuesday. Commander's Brew did a little piece on it already, so listen in, more chances to hear about Wedge and kind of how that affects us all.
Yeah.
And also funny Atraxa stories.
Yes, because there are several of them. Also, big shout out to everybody who came up to me and Ryan and got us to sign stuff. I felt like a celebrity. That was so cool to get to meet people.
Yeah, it was our first signing.
Yeah. They got signed some playmats and some cards and kids knew who we were. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that made us feel real good. So everybody who did that, thank you.
Yeah, super sweet. Commander Championship. Before we get into it, what are your overall feelings? Not about the prizes, because we'll talk about that separately. But do you think that the tournament was a success? There's 307 people. Do you think they did it the right way? 5 rounds, cut to top 4 off of standings. Good job?
I guess.
I think so, right?
I think it did okay. I'm not gonna be the one that says, "Oh, Wizards could do it a lot better." Although maybe next time they could not do it on an Excel spreadsheet, so it doesn't take 12 hours. I would like that.
Yeah, I think because it was pods of 4, they needed a different program than what they were using to make the pairings.
They're
the standings.
They're a multi-million-dollar corporation. They could just hire somebody to just do that for them.
Yeah, like hire Evan or Smitty.
Yeah, just get them in there. I'm sure they could just do it in an afternoon.
Sweet.
Can't be that hard. I don't know shit about computers, though, so maybe it's harder than I think. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. So, 5 rounds. You played Norrin the Wary.
I sure did.
You ended up doing really well.
I did very, very well.
So, how many pods you win?
I won 2, and I placed second in the other 3 I played.
And you ended up what place?
30th.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
That is inside the top 10%.
I page won.
You page 1, yeah, because there was like 35 or whatever entries, like placements on page 1.
Yeah, and it's on my fridge.
Super sweet.
Ryan grabbed a printout of the standings, and I put it on my fridge. I'm very proud of myself.
And you were playing a jank deck. Okay, hold on. There was actually competitive decks in there. People wanted to win, right?
Yeah, people were planning to win there.
The winners win like 1,000 tickets or something, right? Or 600 tickets or whatever it is.
It was pretty big time. I ran into a bunch of combo decks that either I hosed indirectly or, in the case of a Narset player, totally directly.
Yeah, F that bitch.
Yeah, right? Turns out Narset can't beat Pyrohemia.
No,
she really can't.
You just like Wrath every turn. And with Norrin, he goes away, you Pyrohemia, and then end of turn he comes back.
So now there's a creature.
And then your Pyrohemia checks that there's a creature.
Yep.
Oh, so awesome.
It's so good.
So super cool. Brando was repping, got 30th. For me, I was going to play Animar. And my Animar deck, for anybody who hasn't seen it or anybody that I showed, 100% painted. Every card is altered. And the head judge, while he said, this is super sweet, but in competitive REL, because there's art swaps and you change I didn't change the text, but I did a different kind of text over top the regular text, didn't let me play it.
Scumbag.
So my second deck I was going to play had 10 altered cards in it. So I didn't even ask. And I moved to my third deck, which is a janky piece of crap, not even any fast mana Zata list. And I ended up doing not terrible.
Excellent.
I won 1 pod, second in 2, third in 2.
It's not bad.
I ended up 137th.
It's 107 lower than your boy Brando.
It is. So this is the thing. And new listener of the show, Chris, messaged me and said, you guys should do a deck tech on your show because your Zata list was cool. I played against him. He was playing, actually, Atraxa, Super Friends. He was going to alt with 2 Planeswalkers, and I killed him from 42 life with 2 creatures. And I made a big mistake because early on in the game, I Plague Mirrored a guy who was playing a Voltron Borborygmos Enraged Infect deck.
Okay.
He ended up winning the pod, and I infected him for 2 because we were playing against 2 other Atraxa guys, and I thought that they would just do the dirty work for me.
Right.
And they didn't.
What kind of scumbag doesn't do the dirty work?
Well, I killed one of them.
Good.
With 1 shot, and the other player I attacked was the other Atraxa guy with a 12/12 Infect Trampler. He blocked with his 6/6, and I thought that the Borborygmos guy was going to infect him. I should have just attacked the Borborygmos guy because I would have killed him, and then I would have guaranteed myself at least a second place in the pod. The next turn, the Bobo guy plays a land, and he had a New Multani in play. So his New Multani got 1 bigger, and he Exaxied me for 13 or whatever, and I could have killed him.
Cool.
So that was probably my biggest punt. Do you have any big punts?
I did not, actually. I think that's kind of part of why I did okay, is I was actually on my game that day.
Played the crap out of it.
Yeah, I locked a game down on 3 mountains. That's my favorite story.
Oh, sick.
Can I tell the thing? I'll tell the thing.
Do it.
So it was Mountain, Soul Ring.
Seems good.
It seems very good. And then it was Mountain, Soul Ring, Genesis Chamber.
Seems also good.
Even better. Next turn it was tap the Soul Ring, get a Altar of the Brood, then a Mountain to get an Impact Tremors, everybody mill a card, then play Norrin, everybody mill a card, get a thing, everybody mill a card, everybody take damage, da-da-da-da-da-da. And that was turn 2. Turn 3 was Pyrohemia to keep, that was the Narset game, to keep him off a Narset. And after that, it was Possibility Storm to keep everything all the time forever. Played a Blood Moon into my Possibility Storm, got a Grip of Chaos. That makes it so that everything that targets anything is at random. So the one swing that he got with Narset, he got a whole bunch of enchantments that he then tried to put on his Narset, but instead got thrown into my pile of like 14 Mirror tokens. So now I've got flying, lifelink, trampling, beat to death dudes. It was so cool. And then I just killed his Narset and laughed at him. And I had a whole bunch of dudes left over because now they're giant because they're enchanted.
So sick.
And he couldn't equip his swords. He couldn't do anything. And so it was pretty cool. And then from there on, it's like, what are you going to do? You can't remove my stuff. You can't hurt me really at all because I have an army of dudes and you don't. It was pretty good.
That's sick.
Oh yeah, it felt real good. Kind of dirty, but I was playing Norn the Wary. What do you want?
Yeah, I was playing Zada. I had to take wins where I could get them. Sorry, Chris. Okay, moving on. We bought some stuff. We played a whole ton of games.
Sure did.
The CMDR Central guys were trying to play 50 games of Magic that weekend. I played like 17 or 18. They played 50.
That's a lot of Magic.
So you have to listen to them. F them, but... Yeah. Listen to them anyways.
Yeah. F you, Max Crandell.
Yeah, and Dana Roach.
That feels even better to say it to him in person.
Yeah.
I met Max Crandell in real life. F you, man.
Yeah. We met Don Miner, too. Their listener of the show comes up to me and says, yeah, some dude didn't recognize me, but then he was like, oh, I know who you are. You're that guy that CCO Podcast always says F you to. So F you, Don Miner. Get your shit together.
That is excellent.
Okay. Should we do a deck?
What? Yeah. Oh, right. Sure. Yeah.
That was a lot of Vegas summary. I'm sure there'll be more that's coming out from other people and on Twitter, and we'll throw back to Vegas a couple times over the next couple weeks to make sure people can hear more about Atraxa or whatever. But we got a deck to do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And it is. Hang on. It's the generic Kenrith twins, is what I've called it.
Yeah, not so generic.
No, definitely not.
They are from Battlebond.
Yep.
Planeswalkers that have partner with each other that can be used as your commanders.
Yes.
Let's give them a read.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start off with Rowen Kenrith. She is a 4 loyalty planeswalker for red 4. Her first loyalty ability is +2. During target player's next turn, each creature that player controls attacks if able. That doesn't seem very good. Let's see what else you can do. -2. Rowen Kenrith deals 3 damage to each tapped creature target player controls. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Or -8. Target player gets an emblem with, whenever you activate an ability that isn't a mana ability, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Fork emblem. That's probably fine.
It's kind of neat.
What does Will do? Will is her brother.
Will is her brother, an ice mage.
Yeah, not a mind magic guy like Jace.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
So he's immediately cooler.
He is also a 4 mana or a 4 loyalty planeswalker for 6, 2 of which are blue. He has +2. Until your next turn, up to 2 target creatures each have base, power, and toughness 0/3 and lose all abilities. Then he's got -2. Target player draws 2 cards, and until your next turn, instant, sorcery, and planeswalker spells that you play cost 2 less. I assume you target yourself with that or your partner.
Yeah.
But probably in this deck yourself. And his big one, -8. Target player gets an emblem with. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy.
They have the same ultimate?
Will Kenrith copies spells. Rowen Kenrith copies activated abilities.
Oh.
So if you activate a planeswalker ability, you get it twice.
Oh.
Ooh.
Neat.
Very cool. So that's them. What kind of deck would they helm?
A fire and ice deck?
Yeah.
If we're sticking on theme, a brother-sister theme?
Yeah, there's some of that going on. I actually tried to do like a fire and ice kind of motif for a bit, but it turns out all of the ice spells are shit.
Yeah. Ice, we were talking before the show, icing or frosting something is tapping it, and then it doesn't untap during its next untap step. It has to, air quotes, melt. So it's just like frozen for a turn, right? Which is fine. That's what Frost Titan does. He's good.
But he's also a 6/6.
Yes.
And he's in here.
And his brother, who's the girl? Who's the girl? Is it Frost Titan or Inferno Titan that's the girl?
I'm going to say Frost Titan is the girl. No, it is definitely not. He's not wearing a shirt. That would mean Inferno Titan has to be the girl.
That doesn't look like a girl.
You know what? Could be. Girls
we
girls
are
can have
not-
beards. It's
yeah,
2018.
Made out of fire. We are not one to judge genders of cardboard.
All right, so what I did with this deck was I tried to keep it 100% split evenly down the middle, red-blue. I tried to keep the brother-sister pairing, and anytime I played a monocolored creature, I had to play if I played a red thing, I had to play the blue of that thing. Inferno Titan, Frost Titan. I played a Tali, so that means I had to put the shitty blue one in there too. Nazahal? Nazahal.
Primal Tide. Give him a read because he's actually not that terrible.
Nazahal Primal Tide is a 7/7 for 7, blue 5. Can't be countered. You have no maximum hand size. When an opponent casts a non-creature spell, you draw a card, and you can discard 3 cards, exile him, and return it to the battlefield tapped under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So you can blink him to get him out of the way if somebody's trying to kill it.
Yeah, that's a terrible card.
Just not as good as Atali. Should we read Atali? Atali's way better.
Yeah, Atali is better.
Let's read him real quick. He's a 6/6 for 6, 2 of which are red. Whenever he attacks, doesn't have to hurt anybody, just attacks, you exile the top card of all the libraries, and you can play all the cards for free.
Yeah.
How good is that?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that feels good. It's a good one.
Okay. Other notable highlights in the creature categories that are pairs or brothers and sisters. Who do we got here?
We have Kamal Pit Fighter.
Yep.
He is a 6/1 for 6 with haste, taps to do 3 damage to something.
Super good with Will Kenrith's plus ability that makes things 0/3s.
Yes. You can definitely axe them.
That's also why Rowen Kenrith deals 3 damage to everything.
Yes. Teamwork.
Yeah.
And I paired him up with Arcanus the Omnipotent because they were in the same set and in the starter decks of 10th edition. They were the big rare that you got if you bought the red starter deck or the blue starter deck.
And also super fitting in their original sets that they were in, Onslaught, they were actually both pit fighters, just like Will and Rowen Kenrith are in Valor's Reach, which is the stadium that they fight in.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. I knew Kamal was a pit fighter because it's his name.
Oh, yeah.
Did not know Arcanus was a pit fighter.
Another piece of Kamal lore is Kamal actually has a sister who has a magic card that you didn't include. Jessica Warrior Adept. So she is a 3/1 for red 2, first strike, haste, tap to deal 1 damage. So she got first strike and haste, where Kamal only has haste. They both only have 1 toughness. Not super good for pit fighting.
No, not really.
But
she's not blue.
She's not blue.
So it would be harder to justify that one. Every other creature in the deck is red and blue.
Like Keranos, God of the Storms, and his brother-sister god, the Locust God.
Yeah.
Neat. Read Keranos, because I actually don't even know what he does, and he's kind of a popular commander. When we look at EDHREC.com, we're going to see that he's way above the Kenrith twins in numbers of lists.
Yes, Keranos is a great card. Also looks beautiful in foil.
Oh,
so if you ever have a chance to scare one of those up, definitely do it. He is a 6/5 for 3 blue-red, indestructible, as long as your devotion is, I think it's 7.
7 for the 2-color ones.
Yeah, he is not a dude unless you have devotion of 7. And you reveal the first card that you draw each turn. When you reveal a land card, you draw a card. And whenever you reveal a non-land card, he deals 3 damage to something.
So you either draw a second card or bolt something.
Yes, that's good.
I get it. It's kind of like you're doing a mini brainstorm and or lightning bolt. Huh? Is it Storm God?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
What about the Locust God?
Locust God is red, blue, 4 for a 4/4 flyer. Whenever you draw a card, you get a 1/1 blue and red insect creature token with flying and haste. Holy shit. And then he has red, blue, 2, draw a card, then discard a card. And then when he dies, you put him back in your hand.
So we've seen Arcanus, we've seen Locust God, we've seen God of the Storms. Lots of card draw.
Yep.
And we've seen Atali, which technically isn't card draw, but it's card advantage.
Correct.
And you're playing the girl that draws you a card when somebody plays 2. What is it? I don't know.
Jory and Ruin Diver is a 2/3, red, blue, 1. Whenever you cast your second spell, each turn, draw a card.
So lots of card draw. Then it looks like if we're moving on to instants and sorceries, that's kind of the standard format that we do. Kind of looks like a Storm Shell.
It is
Is that a theme thing, or is that like I'm trying to win thing?
It's a I'm trying to win thing, but not by storm comboing. I play the storm combo because it lets you play lots and lots of spells in one turn. Because all of the other creatures that we didn't talk about, just like check out the list, but there's like Blister Core Weird and Nivix Cyclops and Gelectrode and all these other...
Goblin Electromancers that deals damage when you cast a spell.
Yeah, all these things that they get bigger or they do something when you cast an instant or sorcery. Typically their power goes up. And then you swing in with your team.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
People, so that's you storm combo for like 7, and then you swing for 60 and storm something.
Yeah. You know what would be good, but it falls off of the blue-red sameness, like equal divided theme is Gutter Snipe, and also personal favorite of yours, Kiln Fiend.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Gutter Snipe is a 2/2 goblin for 3. When you cast an instant or sorcery, deals 2 damage to each opponent.
Yes.
Kiln Fiend is like a 1/1 for red 1. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Superstar and Zata.
Super good.
Because it becomes like a 31.
Super good. So instants and sorceries, we're playing like I said, we have the Storm Shell, so that's all the rituals, Seething Song, all that stuff. To balance those out, I played a High Tide.
Yeah.
That's the blue... That's the only one I could find.
No, you know what? I like High Tide. I like that it helps you cast all of your storm cards, and I like that you have an Isochron Scepter in there.
Yeah.
And you actually have, on theme with Will Kenrith, a Brain Freeze, because he's an Ice Mage.
Yeah, that's our storm... That's our blue storm finisher, I guess. It's a mill card.
Give it a read.
Target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Storm for blue 1.
And Storm lets you copy it for each spell that was cast before it that turn. So if you Storm for 20, you could mill somebody for like 63 cards.
Yeah. Now the odds are you're not going to Storm for 20 in this deck without some tuning, but it's something. It's something there. And then on the red side for their Storm finisher, I have Ignite Memories because it was the one that had fire.
Oh, yeah. Give it a read. I like that one. I always forget about this card.
And this is a cool card. It's a 4 and a red. Target player reveals a card at random from his or her hand, and then Ignite Memories deals damage to that player equal to its converted mana cost.
And it's got Storm.
So
if you Storm for whatever, you said 20 is not really realistic, but if you did 10?
Sure.
They reveal a random card 10 times, and they're going to take a bunch of damage.
And if you do it later on in the game when they don't have no land, or they're like JJ where they keep the 1-lander and then a handful of 7-drops.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
F you, JJ.
Hop aboard the pain train, friends.
You've got one more Storm guy with buyback that I wanted you to highlight because it's a little bit of a unique card.
I have Haze of Rage, and it's a sorcery for red 1 with buyback of 2. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn, and it storms.
And it's got buyback. Did you say that already?
Yes, I did.
Sweet.
So if you've got enough mana going on, you could actually like storm up to it, play it with buyback, get a whole bunch of copies of it, then play it again and get a whole bunch more copies of it.
That's so sick.
The card is so good.
I love that card. I'm kind of thinking about that for Zata.
It's a good one.
Newsflash, I'm tuning Zata, and I'm going back to Vegas next year, and I'm going to try and play the same Animar deck again, and if I can't, I'm going to play the same Zata again, except it's going to be tuned. So rounding out the instants and sorcery category, you've got like Insurrection, Stitch in Time, Past in Flames, Epic Experiment, right? Just things that are going to draw cards or win you the game. You're playing Incendiary Command and Cryptic Command.
Yep, that's the dichotomy. I'm playing Fire and Ice because Fire and Ice.
I didn't even think of that.
Also,
and it's on one card. Jumping ahead a little bit to the potential suggestions. When we take a look at the mana rocks, I see 6 mana rocks and an Isochron Scepter. What if you played Dramatic Reversal to go infinite with your Isochron Scepter, and then you could either infinite Brain Freeze the table, or infinite make somebody reveal their shitty hand and take damage, or infinite, what is it, Haze of Rage?
Yeah, infinite Hazes of Rage.
Haze of Rages? Or
Hazes of Rages? Who knows?
yeah, super cool.
Yes, that would be fun. Well, I could cut the Omniscience because I just, I literally just put that in there because I was looking through my binder and it's like, oh, I've never played this ever. And I'm still probably not going to play it, but there it is. We chopped that shit out of there. Dramatic reversal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sweet.
baby. Now we're talking.
Very excellent. And then we got one Dominaria superstar in there, Time of Ice.
Because it's an ice card.
Yeah, give that one a read. It's new. I know it's kind of in the front of everybody's mind if they're drafting and playing Dominaria, but it's the first one we've used.
Time of Ice is an enchantment saga for blue 3, and then the first 2 turns of it being around, you tap a creature an opponent controls. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Time of Ice. Very cool. Works good with Kenrith, the red.
Rowen.
Burn them out. And then the third mode of Time of Ice is return all tapped creatures to their owner's hands. Works good with Will Rowen.
Yeah.
It's cool.
No, still works good with Rowen because she makes your opponent's creatures attack.
Yes.
So they'll be tapped. Probably.
and she'll be dead. Probably.
Yeah. No, it's super good because Will makes them a 0/3, and Rowen makes them attack.
And then Time of Ice bounces them.
Yeah.
Or I guess Rowan could just kill him too.
Yeah.
I like that better. Killing things is always better than bouncing things.
Unless it's a Blightsteel Colossus.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't kill it. You got to bounce it. Or make it a 0/3.
Make it a 0/3, it loses all of its abilities.
Oh, yeah, that's right. See, they're good.
Yeah, it doesn't even... If you did that, would it shuffle back in?
No, because shuffle back in is only triggered when it hits your graveyard. Oh, wait a second.
Because it loses that ability, right? It's a 0/3...
Yeah, it triggers when it hits the graveyard, and the graveyard doesn't see the shuffle back in ability when it dies. So it would stay there.
Ha!
Neat.
Sweet tech.
Sweet tech. There you go. How to beat Blightsteel.
I like it.
And Eldrazi's.
Ooh.
Okay, last instant and sorcery I want to talk about. Drain Power?
Drain Power.
What the hell? Give it a read.
Drain Power is a sorcery for blue-blue. Target player activates a mana ability of each land he or she controls, then empties his or her mana pool. Add mana to your mana pool equal to the amount and type emptied this way into your thing. So you tap all of somebody's land, and then you get all the mana for it.
It empties their mana pool, and you get it. That's why. Okay, I didn't read that part before. I was like, don't they just activate all their lands in response, then you get nothing? Stupid card. Okay, well, that's terrible.
No, it's good.
I like Dramatic Reversal better.
We already cut Omniscience for that, so Drain Power stays in.
Strengths and weaknesses?
Strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, strength. 50-50 split always makes mana bases easy to build.
Oh, yeah.
You could literally just do like, whatever, 17 islands and 17 mountains.
Yeah, when I got to the end, it's like 10 island, 10 mountain. Here's some of those cheapy tap for both lands. Urzatron, done.
you mailed this one in.
Yeah, easiest mana base I ever built.
Okay, so I would assume then the mana base doesn't actually cost that much. Let's take a look at it real quick just to go over, because we talk about lands lots.
Okay, so like I say, we got island and mountain, obviously. I have both of the on-color cycling lands, Lonely Sandbar, Forgotten Cave.
I actually like those.
Yeah, both of them draw you a card. I got the Is It Boilerworks. That's the... Are they Karoo lands?
Karoo land.
No. I've got Desolate Lighthouse.
Ooh, that card actually does work. That is a mighty utility land because you just see so many cards with it. You don't want to cast something or nothing worth spending an instant on at the end of dude's turn. End of turn, draw a card, discard a card.
Ditch it. And you
So
got a
good.
Past in Flames so you can replay all your
yeah.
crap later anyway.
Yeah.
And then I've got the Filter land. I think that's the only expensive card I have in here, the Cascade Bluffs.
Well, it was reprinted in MA25, sorry. F you, Joel.
Anyway, I got a Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx.
Gives you devotion to a color that you choose, right? For 2 and tap it.
Yeah, lots of red or lots of blue. I've got a Seagate Wreckage.
That one lets you draw a card as well if you have
No cards
in hand. So if you've stormed out, you can pay 3 and tap it, can draw a card.
Get a card back, yeah.
Now, it takes a colorless to do that, and the only way that you can generate colorless with your mana base is with Urzatron lands, right?
Or Desolate Lighthouse.
Oh, or Nykthos.
Or Nykthos,
And then you've got a couple mana rocks that tap for colorless. Okay.
So it's usable. It's not super... I just like that card, so I put it in there. I'm also rocking a Shivan Gorge, because Shivan Gorge is excellent.
So sick. I wish that I had a Shivan Gorge a couple times over the weekend in Vegas.
Oh, me too.
I actually got a guy through Glen Elendra, no counters. So he countered my first spell, countered another spell, and then another guy Force of Willed me.
Ooh.
And I still killed the Force of Will player and the Glen Elendra player down to 4. And then there was like 6 more turns of the game that I piled up enough goblins to kill another player. And if I had a Shivan Gorge, game would have been over.
Shivan Gorge taps for a colorless mana, or you can tap 2 colorless, a red, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Yeah.
It's a very good card. And then I'm playing the red-blue Pain land, the red-blue Body land.
Check land?
Yeah, check land. The Sulphur Falls. I got Temple of Epiphany. That is the Scry land, I believe.
I love those.
And a Wandering Fumarole, which I really dig. It turns into, for 2 blue-red, it turns into a 1/4 creature that has, I think you can switch its power and toughness back and forth.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
You just do it.
Which is pretty cool.
Now, here is a little thing on utility lands. I don't think that when we say play your utility lands, kids, we don't look at this enough. And you got to remember, for example, Desolate Lighthouse is blue, red, 1 tap. That costs 4 mana.
Yeah.
Shivan Gorge, red, 2 tap.
4 mana.
4 mana. Just keep an eye on that, I think, right? Because it's a really small effect to spend 4 mana on. It's strong because it's repeatable, but
it's overcosted because it's on a land.
Yeah.
If that was a creature, it would, well, if it was an enchantment, the enchantment would cost 4, and it would cost red to activate it. That's Pyrohemia.
Yeah.
Referring to Shivan Gorge. Yeah, or like you could tap a creature
to draw a card and discard a card.
Yeah,
that's Merfolk Looter.
Yeah, that's what it does. That's why we call it looting.
Yeah.
But because it's on a land, overpriced.
Weaknesses. That's what we were actually talking about.
Yes.
The deck is slow, I think, right?
It is. Yes, it's one of those, I didn't build it super tuned. It could probably have an explosive turn here or there, but it's very mana intensive, and you gotta work to get that mana out. Yeah,
and I think if you're gonna do a storm style build, you have to be 100% all in on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of storm, I have in the weakness section of my notes small effects.
Yes, there's lots of like lightning bolt but it's cheap, and brainstorm.
And brainstorm is one of the best cards in Magic. It's great in any deck that it's in. Fire and Ice, for example, or any of the ritual type effects are great for a short-term boost. And in competitive tuned decks where it's almost like Legacy Light, those effects have a lot more substance to them, you know what I mean? Because they're a lot more like a pinpoint, and in EDH sometimes you need a sledgehammer. And those small effects as you go into these big multiplayer casual games kind of lose their effect, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like you're playing spells into the ether and they're not really doing anything.
Yeah, nobody cares if they're taking 2 damage, right?
Yeah.
But if you do 2 damage to somebody's like Dark Confidant in a really competitive game, now they don't draw 2 cards a turn, and that matters.
Yeah, if you can get 2 in on the Narset, if you can get 2 in on an Animar before you start playing creatures, like they're important things to have around, and they're good cards. It's just, like you say, in a big game, in a slower deck.
Yeah.
But I just packed those in there the way that I did. I tried to keep them semi-cheap so you could play lots of them so that your creatures can do more work.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of guys, like the more of them that are in your graveyard.
So your creatures can beat wholesale ass.
Yes.
Yes.
Only I would build a storm deck that revolves around beating wholesale ass with creatures.
There was a guy commented on Twitter or Facebook that said, "Hey, I'm that guy whose ass you beat it at GP Vegas." And I was like, was it you, or like, was it me, or was it Brando? Who was it? Can you confirm that you didn't beat our ass? Because we did lose quite a bit of games. And he's like, "No, I was the Atraxa guy that you played in 2 separate pods, and I got mana screwed both times." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're the guy that Joel rolled all 3 of us." Joel did like a turn 3 original Kozilek or whatever or a turn 4 original Kozilek in my Rakdos deck. And he annihilated that other guy. He annihilated me, like down to 0 permanence. And then he just like attacked in for like 40 to you.
Yeah.
F you, Joel.
Yeah, F Joel. People knew him too. So cool.
Oh yeah, that was the funniest thing. Is that F you, Joel? Oh yeah, sign my card. Yeah.
What a thing.
Card of the week?
Say it right, Ryan. Card of the week.
I can't say it like that.
It's magic.
Magic of radio. What are we picking?
This week we're going to do something a little different. We have 2 cards of the week to keep with our brother-sister partner pair theme.
I didn't even think of that.
And they are the Eye and the Heart of Ramos.
So, both of them do the same thing in their respective colors. There's actually one for each color, originally printed in Mercadian Masks.
That's why they're good.
3 mana, tap to add a red, and tap to add a blue is the eye. And you can also sacrifice them to add a red or a blue.
Very cool.
So you could tap them, and then when you need the 1 extra mana, you tap it and then sacrifice it, and you get a red from tapping and a red from sacrificing.
And you can sometimes get people with that too, because they'll forget that that's there. It's like, he's tapped out. Ha!
Oh, yeah.
Get ruined. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. It's like, you only got 1 land. Haha, electrolyze, you son of a bitch. And you draw a card.
Best play, because you're terrible. You're playing an unsummon in this deck.
Yes, I am.
Tapped out, sacrifice your Eye of Ramos, unsummon. So terrible. I love them.
Unsummoned.
Shout out to Desolate Lighthouse. Is that what we called it?
Desolate Lighthouse.
Desolate Lighthouse. Shout out to that card too,
Yeah,
because
it does
I like
some
that guy.
work. Yeah.
Yeah. And you actually have the thing that gets +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard.
Yep.
So you just Desolate Lighthouse your Lightning Bolt on turn 87. That's not going to do anything. And then your guy gets +1/+1 forever.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's all right. So there's our card of the week. Should we run this thing through the spice calculator?
Or the Milk List.
Everybody loves the milk list.
The Milk List, for any of our new listeners, is a list of cards by converted mana cost from 0 to about 15 usually, as per edhrec.com, the most popular cards in whatever color combination we're talking about. Today, Izzet, or red-blue, at the 0 drop slot. Most popular Izzet card, I thought it was going to be Mana Crypt.
Mana Vault? Chalice of the Void. Chalice of the Void doesn't cost.
Everflowing Chalice.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah. Man, did we see a lot of Mana Crypts though over the weekend, hey?
Oh,
everybody play. It's so good. If I saw one more goddamn turn 2 Paradox engine off of a Soul Ring and Crypt, I was going to shoot myself.
Yeah, that was... I only actually ran into one Paradox engine playing guy. Yeah, just one. Well, I mean, I assume that there was more, but they either got ganked or just didn't draw into it because they were too busy getting destroyed by me.
I was playing against a guy that did turn 1 Mox, Mana Crypt, and then he Green Sun Zenith for Dryad Arbor, all on turn 1, and his land drop. So turn 2, he had 5 mana.
Wow.
Yeah. The other guy that I was playing against went Mox whatever, and then a 1 drop and a 0 drop, like creature.
Wow.
I went mountain. The other guy in that same pod was playing General Tazri Food Chain. Ooh. Oh, F that guy.
Yeah. F everybody.
Yeah. Ended up not winning that pod.
So what was the most popular?
Oh, yeah. Most popular 0 drop in Izzet, Everflowing Chalice.
Nah.
The 1 drop slot, Soul Ring.
Of course.
Of course. Izzet Signet.
Yes.
Yeah. Counterflux at 3.
No.
Factor Fiction at 4.
Nope.
Gilded Lotus at 5.
Nope.
Charmbreaker Devils at 6.
No.
Firemind's Foresight at 7. That's a good one.
Nope.
Not playing it.
Not playing it.
That's a tutor.
Nope.
Treasure Cruise at 8.
Nope.
Blasphemous Act at 9.
Nope.
Omniscience at 10.
Technically, yes, but we cut it for a dramatic reversal.
Okay, I won't count it then.
Okay.
Temporal Trespass at 11.
Nope.
That's the Delve
Extra turn?
extra turn one. Yeah, that's right. Enter the Infinite at 12. Sorry.
Nope.
Emrakul the Promised End at 13.
Nope.
Oh. Dinkmouth Infusion at 14.
I'm not playing enough artifacts to make it worth it.
You're not playing enough lands in your deck to cast that card.
I was trying so hard to actually fit Dinkmouth Infusion and Time Stop into this deck.
Oh, Time Stop. So good.
I just couldn't do it.
Other Emrakul at 15. You're not playing because it's banned.
Correct.
Draco at 16. Not playing.
Nope.
2 Milk List matches.
Kaboom.
That's really good. That's really good.
Go me.
Always a good time, yeah. Okay, Spice Calculator. We got to keep moving on. Popularity. At this time, there are 31 Will and Rowen deck lists on edhrec.com. That makes them the 16th most popular Izzet commanders.
Yeah, she's right. They're down there with Ludovec and Ludovec's zombie creation.
Crom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only people that are doing worse than those guys, and when you combine them, they have like 10 times the list that they do. So
yeah.
Yeah, if they're like Ludovec on his own and Crom on his own, no lists, but together there's like 165 lists.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Okay, so they're not very popular. I think because they're new, and I think because they're going into lists of other decks. Because Partner with actually lets them find each other.
Yes, you can play one, get the other one, then play the other.
Target player searches their library for the other partner. You just target yourself.
Doesn't work as good when they're in the command zone because you can't do that.
But you have access to them anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like having them, right?
You could shuffle your library for no reason doing that, hey?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, if you don't like your card. If you're playing your Malik.
That's actually really good. Yeah. If you brainstorm and put 2 cards from your hand that you don't want away, shuffle when you cast your commander.
Yeah.
I like it. That's good with brainstorm on an Isochron Scepter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one of those incremental advantages. I like those.
Broke the format.
Did it.
Like it. Okay. Average converted mana cost of the deck, 3.65. Probably goes down to 3.5 now that you took that
Omniscience
out. Yeah, for sure. Critical turn. Slow deck. So we maxed out in the formula, the spice formula, turn 5.
Yep.
I don't think this deck's doing anything before turn 5.
Nope.
Maybe brainstorming if you hate value.
They're playing in some little dudes.
Optimal game size, probably 6, even though we said this the little spells in the deck lose value when you play them in a big game. I think you want this in a big game just to play the politics, right? Because you are bouncing, you are countering, you are burning. And you can do a lot of political maneuvering with those kinds of effects for the investment of like 1 or 2 mana and a card.
Yeah, and there's lots of ways to like refill your grip to make sure that you've always got some kind of little effect going on.
Yep, for sure. Okay, this is where you win though. No tutors in the deck. Uniqueness rating. So cards in your deck that are different than the stock list on EDH Rec. 51 different cards.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So you punch it all into the spice calculator. Beep, boop, 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 boop. 73. That is a spicy list.
We are back in form.
We are back.
This is the first list that we've built ourselves in what, 7 weeks?
yeah, for sure. So, fun list. You thought it was going to be generic, but we found some pretty cool interactions in there.
I think actually sitting down, shuffling it up and playing it, I think would actually be kind of fun because it really does it's like how much can I do? It's
like a janky storm combo. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
That's why Zada's fun. That's why Zada was our very first like pilot episode because we both like that kind of deck, right?
Yeah.
It's a spell slinger deck, but it's also a creature deck, right? Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
And the best of all 3 worlds, you can win these 2 for free.
Ooh, good segue.
Yeah. So we touched on it. You can win them. We have a pair of Will and Rowen twins on our Facebook page. Go there, like, share, follow. Follow us on Twitter. All of those get you entries, and they get you a certain amount of entries. All the details are there. If you like, share, or bid on Wedge's auction, free entries to all those people as well. Patrons of the show, for any of our new listeners, also get entries based on their Patreon level of support. Their
patronosity.
Yeah, as we say. Okay? CCO Podcast, always 100% free, but there are perks to being a patron, and one of them is getting additional free, air quotes, free entries into all of the contests. And signing up, I think our next checkpoint, our next stretch goal on our Patreon page is a deck giveaway every arc.
Whoa.
So lots of work for us. So we're waiting till we have a little bit more patrons. But of course, with more support means better prizes, better giveaways.
And this is the kind of deck that we'd actually probably give away because it's fun to play out of the box and there's lots of room to grow.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, this is the kind of stuff this is the kind of stuff we'll typically give away. And people are going to say, that deck is garbage. What the hell I want to do that? It's a fun deck.
And you know what? I think if we were giving this deck away, I'd probably keep the Omniscience in it because
people like Omniscience.
People then you're getting value, right?
Yeah.
But right now, Will and Rowen Kenrith, the foil promo pre-release art, that's what you're getting. Picture of it is on our Facebook with all the details.
Yes, check that. Also, we have decided we've taken a step back with all this stuff with Wedge, but if you want to take some extra time and go down to Podomatic and follow us there, you get some more entries for that. I
forgot about that.
Because it's time to take them ninnies down. It's time.
Oh, you know what I saw? I saw that the ninnies, I randomly loaded up like the Games and Hobbies list of most popular stuff on Podomatic, and for like one instant in the day, the ninnies were at number 2.
Who beat them?
I don't remember. It's like a Star Wars podcast or something.
Oh, man.
So something also like super popular. Star Wars, I guess, is more popular than scrapbooking for like 1 minute because I hit refresh and it was fixed. Like ninnies were back at number 1.
It was probably a glitch in the system, Ryan. Let's be honest.
What if what are they called? Scrap Gals?
Scrap Gals, yeah.
Scrap Gals podcast. What if they're like the owners of, what if they have like shares in Podomatic or something? They're part owner.
Oh, that'd be the worst.
We'd never beat them.
You know what we could do? We could rename the show Scrap Pals. And then people will listen to us instead of them. Like, when do they start talking about scrapbooking? I don't understand.
You know what those assholes at CMDR Central did?
What did they do?
To trash talk us?
What?
They actually said that their listeners should head to Podomatic and give the Scrap Gals a follow just so we don't beat them. Oh. F you, Max Crandell.
Oh, yeah, we were saying it earlier, but we really mean it now.
I know. I listened to that after we got back from Vegas, and I thought, God, if I was in Vegas, man, that guy would be getting a suplex off the roof.
Right?
Anyways.
Good thing we trashed him at a Traxa Bowl.
We didn't even play in their pod.
Way to play Magic, scrub. Hey, we won the game, Ryan. That's what the card said. We won the game. Yes. We didn't have to proliferate poison counters. We didn't have to attack. We didn't have to infinitely play enchantments. We just won the game.
Yeah, get wrecked, noobs.
Yeah, if we had transplanted ourselves into the other game, what would have happened? Won the game.
Would have won that game too.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how it is. Okay. So that was the sound of me crotch chopping. If you didn't hear it, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I saw it.
There it is.
Okay, so we did crotch chop, Vegas recap, Atraxa recap. We did a super fun, janky CCO style deck.
Yeah, back to form. I like it.
Yeah. We talked about the giveaway.
We did.
Shout out to everybody who's bid on Wedge's auction.
Now that's another thing that we talked about.
Final thoughts of the day?
Final thoughts of the day. This week's list was a little bit secondary, I suppose, to a lot of the other things that we have going on, specifically our trip down to GP Vegas and all of the things that have sprung from that, namely our auction in an attempt to help support our boy Wedge. But just to talk about the deck a little bit, it is a great deal of fun. Check out the list. If you have any suggestions or comments, now that we've talked about it, I actually think I'll just go home and put it together and play it.
Do you have all the cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, except for the power sync. I don't have a power sync, but they're 91 cents, so I'll just play something else. But I built this out of my binders, so it's fun. Anyways, so just go in, check it out. I think it'll be a good time to play. And again, if you have some time or any support to give to our boy Wedge, by all means check it out, even if it's not through bidding on our auctions. Yeah, but liking and sharing and getting it out there is kind of what we're just trying to do to help out an upstanding member of our community and a friend to a lot of us. So check that out. Stop by our Facebook page. We'll be getting our third charity auction lot up as soon as we can, so be on the lookout for that, and we will hopefully have some more information, or at least maybe know what altered card we're going to have to give away, and we will have all of that for you on the next episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!